Unlock modern Stoicism. Apply 15 brutal psychological numbers to prioritize yourself. Have you ever felt the crushing weight of being overlooked by those you care about? The sense that no matter how much you give, how deeply you love, your presence just doesn't matter to them. It stings, right? To be treated like you're invisible while you're pouring your heart out. But here's the powerful truth. What if you could take control of the situation and force them to see you for who you truly are? In today's video, I'm going to unlock the Stoic secrets behind applying 10 brutal psychological numbers that will allow you to prioritize yourself in a world that constantly demands more from you. Stick around, because these principles from modern Stoicism can completely shift your mindset and transform your life. Number 1. Create the fear of losing you permanently. When you have devoted all your heart, affection and time to caring for and loving them. However, no matter how hard you try, it seems like they still don't see you. You call, but they don't answer. You care, but they don't reply. You show up, but they still don't pay attention. Have you ever wondered why that is? Why do you feel unappreciated? The main reason is that people often don't know how to appreciate what is always available. When something is always present in their lives, they easily take it for granted, even not realizing its value until it disappears. This is a very natural psychological law, but if you know how to apply it correctly, you can completely change this problem. Rest assured, you can make them realize that you are truly an indispensable part of their life. What I want you to understand is, the first thing you need to do is create a fear of losing you forever. You are the person they can't imagine life without. Without you, there is a huge gap in their life, a void that no one else can fill. You are not simply an option in their life, but a necessity. But how do you create this? How do you make them feel that you are not something that can be easily replaced? The key here is independence. That is one of the greatest lessons that Stoic philosophy teaches us. Stoics like Epictetus said, "Happiness is not a secondary value, but a thing that touches the heart less." And you can apply this saying in this situation. You need to show people that your life is not dependent on them. You may love them, but you don't live for them. You have your own life, full of passion and purpose, where they are just a part of it, not the center. When you can do this, the people around you will gradually realize that they have to work to get your attention. Once you have built a life that you are proud of and can establish yourself, they will begin to see your value. They will no longer be able to take you for granted in their lives. They will then see you as a valuable commodity, something that they cannot easily find or replace. Therefore, you need to make them understand that your presence is not something they can take for granted at any time. You have to create a scarcity, a feeling that if they do not pay attention to you, they may lose something very important in their lives. This is not about creating games or tactics. It is not about acting cold and uncaring to attract attention. It is the work of actually making your life so rich and interesting that the people around you will see that having you in their life is something special, not something that is taken for granted. And when they receive this, they will put more effort into maintaining the relationship with you, because they know that they can't have you forever, even if you are not important. One of the most important reasons for Stoicism is that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can absolutely control our own reactions. You can't force someone to like you or care about you, but you can decide how you will treat them. This means that you will never be the only one who has to do the hard work in a relationship. You will never be the one who is always chasing after someone else for their attention or love. Instead, you will make them realize that your love and care are something they need to work hard to earn. You may find it difficult to put this number into practice. But remember, it is important to start with understanding your own values. Never let yourself become someone who is always willing to sacrifice or do everything for others without caring about your own needs and feelings. You need to be the one who decides, not the one who waits for validation or affection from others. When you do this, you will find that your relationships become more balanced, and you no longer have to sacrifice yourself for someone else's opinion. Do I truly value myself and what I bring to the relationship? Am I living a full and independent life, or am I waiting for validation from others? If the answer is no, then it is time to change your approach. Remember, your care is not something that can be easily achieved. It must be something that others have to work for and appreciate. Only when you truly understand and apply this number will you find that the right people will start to move closer to you, while the people who don't value you will gradually retreat. And this is how you can create healthy, lasting relationships, where you don't have to lose yourself to be loved, but you love and value yourself, and thereby attract the right people. Number 2, don't be always available. In life, the most precious things are rarely found in abundance or always within reach. Think about it. The most valuable treasures, whether they are people, experiences, or moments, are cherished because they're not available to us at every turn. Your time is one of the most valuable things you possess. Just like any rare and precious resource, it must be treated with care and respect. If you're constantly available to everyone at all times, you're diluting the significance of your own life and self-worth. When others know they can always reach you whenever they want, they may take you and your time for granted. But if you build boundaries and prioritize your own life, your time will be seen as something rare, something that holds value. This is not about being selfish or cutting people off, but about recognizing that your life, your goals, and your energy matter just as much as anyone else's. When you make it clear that you are not at their beck and call, they begin to realize how lucky they are to be part of your life. It's a shift of perspective, where your time is no longer something to be freely given, but something to be cherished. Remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who wisely said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." So by constantly being available to others, you are unintentionally wasting time that could be better spent focusing on your own growth, your own goals, and your own well-being. It's important to set boundaries, not out of a desire to push others away, but to honor yourself and the time you have. When you prioritize yourself in this way, you're not being rude or unkind. You are simply showing respect for the finite nature of life, and in doing so, you raise the quality of the connections you have with others. When someone knows that they can't have your attention whenever they demand it, they are more likely to appreciate the moments they do have with you. The practice of not being always available is one of the Stoic numbers that builds an iron mind. It is a number that teaches us to focus on what truly matters, and to not let the noise of others' demands distract us from our own path. In a world where everything feels so urgent, it's easy to fall into the trap of constantly responding to every message, every phone call, and every request. But the Stoics understood that true strength comes from self-mastery, not from trying to please everyone around us. You need to realize that it's okay to say no, and that your life doesn't have to revolve around fulfilling the needs of others. You are not obligated to be available whenever they feel like it. In fact, by being less available, you actually create space for yourself and allow the people in your life to value you more. You may be wondering, but isn't it rude or selfish to set boundaries? Not at all. It's actually an act of self-respect and self-care. You teach others how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. The more you honor your time, the more others will respect it. It's important to remember that your time is a finite resource. And every moment you give to someone else is a moment you are taking away from yourself. Are you truly okay with that? Are you comfortable with sacrificing your own time and happiness to make others happy, even when they may not value it the way you deserve? By being always available, you risk losing yourself in the process. Now, you may feel the pressure to always be there for others because, after all, we live in a world that constantly demands our attention. Social media, work, family, friends, they all require your presence, your input, your response. But this is where you must stand firm and remember that you have a choice. Your life is not meant to be a series of reactions to the needs of others. You have your own world to create, your own goals to achieve, and your own dreams to pursue. Don't fall into the trap of believing that you are indispensable to everyone all the time. No one can be everywhere at once. Number 3. Don't reveal everything. Become mysterious. In life, we often find ourselves eager to share everything about ourselves, the details of our day, our thoughts, our past, and our dreams. But here's the secret I want you to grasp. Not everything about you needs to be revealed. In fact, becoming a bit mysterious can be one of the most powerful things you can do. People are naturally drawn to the unknown. It's like when you hear about a person or a story that piques your interest but leaves you with questions. What's the real story behind it? What are they hiding? The more you reveal everything about yourself, the less intriguing you become. But when you keep some things to yourself, people start to wonder, to question, and to become curious about who you really are. It's as if you're a book with some chapters still sealed, and they're dying to flip through each one to discover more. Look at the way we are drawn to mystery in all areas of life, whether it's in relationships, art, or even business. The same principle applies to you. If you reveal too much too soon, others will feel like they've already seen your entire story and they lose interest. But when you keep some of your cards close to your chest, people will be captivated by the gaps, eager to fill them in. Think about the Stoic principles for a moment. Marcus Aurelius himself would teach us to remain calm and measured, not letting every emotion or every thought spill out to the world. In his meditations, he reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This idea of controlling what you reveal aligns perfectly with the art of mystery. A modern example that comes to mind is how many successful entrepreneurs build their personal brands. Take someone like Elon Musk. He's very strategic about the information he shares with the public. He doesn't reveal every detail about his ventures and keeps a certain amount of mystery about his intentions. This creates intrigue, which keeps people coming back for more. People are captivated by him, and they continue to follow his every move because they feel like there's always something more to discover. The same principle applies in your life, whether it's in your career, your relationships, or even your personal development. When you remain a bit mysterious, you maintain control over the narrative. You control when and how you reveal yourself, which in turn creates more power and influence over the situation. Have you ever met someone who, despite not revealing too much, had a certain magnetic pull? You couldn't quite put your finger on it, but there was something about them that made you want to learn more. Maybe it's their calm demeanor, the way they carry themselves, or the quiet confidence they exude. How often do you feel the urge to tell people everything about you in an effort to build connections? While being open and vulnerable is important in certain contexts, there's also power in choosing what you share and when. This sense of mystery isn't about being deceptive or dishonest. It's about creating space for curiosity and engagement. It's about recognizing that your story is yours to tell, and you have the ability to decide how and when to reveal the chapters. And here's the real kicker. By becoming mysterious, you begin to elevate your own sense of self-worth. you start to realize that you don't need to overshare to feel valued or validated. You are valuable because of what you bring to the table, not because of what you say about yourself. The Stoic secret here is one of self-mastery. It's about controlling what you reveal to the world and when. It's about living by the principle of having power over your mind and not letting external events or people dictate how much of yourself you give away. By practicing this kind of control, you are not only embracing the Stoic principles, but also mastering the art of leaving people wanting more. The lesson here is simple. Mystery isn't just about hiding your true self. It's about choosing the right moments to reveal it, and understanding that your worth isn't in how much you share, but in the quality of what you reveal. By applying this number, you not only keep people interested in you, but also create a stronger, more focused version of yourself. Stay curious about the world, but be strategic about what you reveal. It's a way of living with purpose and keeping the control firmly in your hands, as Marcus Aurelius would advise. If you've made it this far in the video, I encourage you to comment "charming mystery" below. This is a great way to show that you're applying one of the key principles of Stoicism, the ability to hold back something about yourself in order to create charm and charisma. Take a moment to reflect on this and share your thoughts. Thank you for joining me on this journey of exploring these profound principles, and I hope it helps you become stronger and wiser in your life. Number 4, be costly and let them invest in you. In life, we're often eager to give, whether it's our time, attention, or affection. We want to connect, show our worth, and be there for others. However, let me share a key Stoic lesson. True value shouldn't be handed out freely. You must allow others to invest in you, to see your worth, and appreciate you for who you are. This is the essence of number 4. Be costly and let them invest in you. Think about it. You're not someone who should be constantly available. Like a rare gem, your value increases when others must work to earn your presence. Only then will they truly appreciate all that you offer. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy, a reminder to never degrade yourself by chasing after what doesn't deserve you." This applies here. Don't beg for affection or attention. Instead, position yourself so that others must earn your time and presence. Stoic secrets teach us that people value what they work for. Have you noticed this? When someone invests time and energy into a relationship, doesn't it make you value them more? This principle holds true in all areas: business, friendships, and romantic relationships. People don't value what they can take for granted, which is why it's crucial to let them invest in you. You don't need to reveal everything about yourself immediately or be constantly available. By making yourself a bit scarce, people will realize your worth. You're not here to beg for attention, you're here to show your value. When you do, people will recognize that you have your own life to live, and they'll work to earn their place in it. This principle isn't about playing games or being distant for the sake of it. It's about understanding that your time and energy are precious. Successful entrepreneurs like Elon Musk don't make themselves available to everyone. They're strategic with their time, ensuring that anyone who gets their attention has earned it. This creates exclusivity, elevating their value. Reflect on your own life for a moment. How often do you give yourself away for free? Do you constantly put others' needs before your own? If so, it's time to start applying number 4. Allow others the chance to earn your time, trust, and attention. By doing this, you create healthier, more respectful relationships while growing stronger yourself. One of the most profound Stoic lessons Marcus Aurelius shared was to control desires and impulses. He said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. This applies to your relationships too. Giving your time and emotional energy should be a privilege, not something given away easily. When you let others invest in you, it ensures that the relationship is built on mutual respect. So, what would it feel like to make others earn your presence instead of freely giving it? How might this change the dynamics of your relationships and your self-worth? By following this number, you're not only teaching others to value you, but you're also building a stronger, more self-assured version of yourself. You're learning to hold your value high, ensuring that only those who respect it are part of your life. And as you do this, the people who are truly interested in you, those who are willing to invest, will step forward. They will be the ones putting in the effort to earn your trust and affection. This is how you elevate your worth in others' eyes and practice Stoic self-mastery. By applying this number, you take control of your life, your value, and your relationships, ensuring you're treated with the respect you deserve. It's not about being distant or cold, it's about knowing your worth and making sure others do too. You are the priceless gem, and if they want to be part of your world, they must earn it. So, what are you waiting for? How will you begin to let others invest in you and truly see your worth? Remember, it's not about playing hard to get. It's about knowing you're worthy of being valued. Once you embrace this, you'll see the positive changes in your relationships and your life. Number 5. Prioritize your own needs. First, prioritize your own needs. First is one of the most important principles for living a fulfilled life. It's about making sure your needs and well-being come first. Too often, we find ourselves sacrificing our happiness, health, or peace of mind for the sake of others, whether it's for a demanding boss, a friend who constantly takes advantage, or a partner who doesn't appreciate us. But here's the truth. If you don't value yourself, no one else will either. Standing up for yourself is a key Stoic lesson. Marcus Aurelius said, "Take a good look at yourself and ask whether your actions are guided by your principles or by someone else's expectations." That means you have to know your worth and refuse to settle for less than you deserve. You should never compromise your self-respect or happiness just to please others. Think about it. If you constantly put everyone else's needs ahead of your own, you're setting yourself up for frustration and burnout. You're giving away your time, energy, and emotional resources without receiving anything in return. And when you do this, you end up feeling drained, taken for granted, and unappreciated. This is why number 5 is so critical. It's about setting boundaries and ensuring that you're not sacrificing your well-being to please others. Epictetus, another great Stoic, taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is your reminder to take control over how much of yourself you give away. You have the power to choose what you give and to whom. Prioritize your own needs and make sure that any time, attention, or affection you offer is given in alignment with your values, not out of obligation or guilt. Now, I know it can be difficult to prioritize yourself, especially if you're used to putting others first. But let's take a moment to reflect. What's the cost of always putting others' needs above your own? Does it leave you feeling fulfilled or empty? Are you consistently finding yourself in situations where you're giving more than you're receiving? This is exactly why it's so crucial to apply number 5. When you prioritize yourself, you're not being selfish. Instead, you're practicing self-respect. You're showing others that your time and energy are valuable. And just like a Stoic practicing emotional discipline, you can choose to protect your inner peace and not let external pressures dictate your state of mind. This doesn't mean you should be cold or distant to those you care about. What it means is that you need to establish healthy boundaries that protect your well-being. If you're always available for others but never take time for yourself, you're teaching people to take you for granted. You're sending the message that your time doesn't matter, that your well-being comes second. And let's be clear, this isn't about being harsh or dismissive. It's about respecting yourself enough to know when to say no and when to put your needs above all else. It's about being strong enough to protect your peace. One of the key aspects of applying number 5 is learning to say no without guilt. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It simply means you're exercising your right to protect your own needs. People often struggle with this, especially when they want to please others or avoid conflict. But remember what Seneca said: we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Often we imagine that saying no will lead to disappointment or anger from others, but in reality, it usually leads to respect. When you prioritize your own needs, others begin to respect your boundaries and understand that your time and energy are not to be taken for granted. In modern life, this number is more important than ever. We're constantly bombarded with demands, whether it's work, social obligations, or family needs. But as Stoic numbers teach us, we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Prioritizing your own needs means you have the power to decide where to focus your energy and how to spend your time. It's about giving yourself permission to say no and create space for the things that truly matter to you, whether it's taking care of your mental health, pursuing your passions, or simply having time to relax. By applying number 5, you are building a foundation of iron mind discipline. This discipline allows you to protect your peace and pursue your own goals without getting lost in the needs of others. When you prioritize yourself, you're practicing self-mastery, a key Stoic value. You're learning to balance your relationships, responsibilities, and your own well-being in a way that honors your true value. Seneca once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By prioritizing yourself, you take control of your life, your happiness, and your peace of mind. You begin to set the tone for how others treat you, and you start to recognize your own worth. So don't wait. Number 6. Don't make them the center of your life. Don't make them the center of your life emphasizes the importance of maintaining your independence and ensuring that no one becomes the focal point of your existence. It's easy to get caught up in someone else's world, especially in relationships where emotions run deep. But think for a moment. How often do you place someone at the center of your universe? How often do you shape your happiness around their attention or approval? Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, once reminded us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This principle is vital in applying number 6. Your life, your happiness, should not hinge on the approval or attention of someone else. Imagine you are a bright star in the night sky. You're shining on your own, independent and strong, with your own path. You don't revolve around anyone. This is the core of number 6. When you make someone the center of your life, you risk losing your sense of self. You give away your power, allowing someone else to dictate your happiness. Instead, you need to focus on your own orbit, your passions, your goals, and your sense of purpose. This is where the magic happens. By focusing on your own growth and not relying on others for validation, you become more self-assured, and people are naturally drawn to you because of the energy and confidence you radiate. Think about the most successful and self-assured individuals you know, like Elon Musk, for example. He's known for being intensely focused on his work and his own vision. He doesn't revolve around the demands or desires of others. He chooses what he gives his attention to, and because of that, people respect his time and his boundaries. He doesn't let anyone pull him off his path. This is exactly what number 6 teaches: how to stay true to your own values and goals while allowing others to respect your journey. When you stop making others the center of your life, you preserve your independence. You're no longer chasing after someone's attention or approval. Instead, you focus on your own path, ensuring that anyone who chooses to be a part of your life is someone who values and respects you for the person you truly are. It's not about pushing others away. It's about creating healthy boundaries where your own life takes precedence, and the people who are meant to be in your life will naturally find their place. This doesn't mean you isolate yourself or become distant. It means you're intentional about how you invest your time and energy. Your life is yours to live, and the people you allow into it should respect that. When you embrace this idea, you'll find that the relationships you form are stronger and more meaningful, as they are rooted in mutual respect and admiration, not dependency. People don't want someone who is always available or constantly seeking validation from them. They want someone who has their own life, their own goals, and their own passions. Here's a question for you. How often have you found yourself prioritizing someone else's needs, emotions, or desires over your own? How often have you made someone else's world the most important thing, only to find yourself feeling lost or unfulfilled? If you've experienced this, it's time to take back your power and apply number 6. Start focusing on your own journey and don't let anyone else's wants or needs overshadow your own. Stoic principles teach us that we must take control of our lives and not allow others to dictate our worth. By doing so, you not only become more attractive to others, but also more fulfilled as a person. Your happiness and fulfillment should come from within, not from external validation. When you stop seeking approval from others, you elevate yourself. You become the type of person that people are attracted to because you are confident, independent, and strong. Your relationships become healthier and more balanced when you stop putting someone else at the center of your life. How will you apply this number today? Will you start focusing on your own growth, your own path, and your own happiness, knowing that true power comes from within? When you do, you will not only find that others respect you more, but you will also discover a stronger, more confident version of yourself. When you stop putting others at the center of your life and start focusing on your own path, you are taking the first step towards greater self-esteem and independence. It's not about neglecting your relationships. It's about putting your own values, goals, and happiness first. If you're ready to take back your power and live a life driven by your own purpose, share your commitment with us. Comment, "I'm ready to focus on myself," to show that you're ready to stop putting others' needs before your own and start living a life where you are the priority. Number 7. Stop starting conversations all the time. Have you ever felt like you're always the one reaching out, the one who initiates every conversation? Maybe you're seeking connection or validation, but in doing so, you might be giving away your own power. Think about this. You are the lighthouse, not the ship desperately chasing after the light. The lighthouse stands tall and steady, its light shining to guide those who need it. It doesn't chase the ships, it simply exists, offering guidance to those who seek it. Similarly, in relationships, constantly initiating contact can make you feel like you're chasing others' attention. But is that really the best approach? I want you to stop always being the first to reach out. Let others make the effort too. When you step back, you allow people to appreciate your presence and value. By doing this, you subtly signal that you have your own life, your own interests, and you don't need their validation to feel whole. This is a modern Stoic lesson, to recognize your own value and to stop seeking attention. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius. By stepping back, you're showing that you are not dependent on others' attention for your sense of self-worth. Think about the difference it makes when you allow someone else to reach out first. When you stop constantly initiating, people will begin to value your presence more. They come to see you as someone who is strong, confident, and independent. Stoicism teaches us that we are in control of how we present ourselves. By withholding constant outreach, you allow relationships to form on a foundation of mutual respect, not dependency. The more you do this, the more you'll see that meaningful connections are built when both people are actively invested, rather than just one person doing all the work. It's easy to feel tempted to always be available, especially when you care about someone or fear they might drift away. But constantly initiating can lead to exhaustion and imbalance. When you constantly chase after others' attention, you may begin to feel like you're less in control of your own life. Stepping back allows you to reclaim that control, and when people reach out to you on their own, it feels more genuine, more appreciated. Now, I know this can feel difficult at first. It might feel like you're testing the waters of solitude. But here's the truth. You deserve to have your time and energy valued. When you step back, you show others that you are not always available on their terms. This teaches them to respect your boundaries and your own life. You don't need to be constantly on call to be valued. Think about it. When someone finally reaches out to you after a period of stepping back, doesn't it feel more authentic? Doesn't it feel like they truly value your time? And when you stop chasing, how does it affect your emotional state? Are you less drained, more at peace, and better able to enjoy your own life without feeling the constant need to seek approval? This approach isn't just about relationships. It's a deeper, philosophical shift. In modern Stoicism, we recognize that we can only control our actions, not those of others. By stepping back, you stop seeking validation and instead allow others to come to you on their own terms. This is one of the Stoic secrets to inner peace. By removing the constant need for external approval, you create space for real, balanced relationships. The more you practice this, the more you'll find that there's real power in waiting. You don't need to always be the first to initiate or seek attention. When you allow people to come to you, you signal that you are enough as you are. Like the lighthouse, you stand firm, offering your light only when others need it. You're not chasing validation, and you're not desperate for attention. Instead, you're embracing your own worth, and that makes all the difference in your relationships. When you allow others to initiate, you create deeper, more meaningful connections. This isn't just about playing games or pretending not to care. It's about recognizing your own value and knowing that you don't need to constantly prove it. You are the lighthouse, not the ship. Let others seek your light on their own, and when they do, you'll be there, calm, confident, and steady in your own worth. That's the beauty of Stoicism applied to modern life. You don't chase after validation because you already know your value. This simple shift, from constantly initiating to letting others come to you, is a profound step toward creating the kind of relationships and life you deserve. When you stop seeking the attention of others, you allow them to seek you out, and that creates a relationship that is based on mutual respect and shared effort. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to stop chasing and instead allow others to come to you? How might this shift in perspective change your relationships, and more importantly, how you feel about yourself? Number 8, create your own happiness. Imagine for a moment that you are the radiant sun. Your light, your warmth, your happiness are not dependent on anyone else. You shine, and as you do, people are drawn to you. Isn't that a powerful image? This is the essence of number 8, creating your own happiness. You don't need anyone else to bring you joy. You create it within yourself. When you become self-assured and content with who you are, you stop relying on external sources for your sense of well-being. You become your own source of positivity, and that draws people in. Think about it. People are naturally attracted to those who are confident, joyful, and independent. The energy you radiate becomes magnetic, pulling others toward you. This is the power of taking full ownership of your happiness. We often look for happiness outside ourselves, don't we? We think that if we find the right partner, the right job, the right circumstances, then we'll finally feel happy. But the truth is, happiness has to start from within. You have to choose it for yourself. It's not about waiting for others to make you feel good, but about creating an inner state of peace and joy that stands independent of what happens around you. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. This is such a powerful reminder that the quality of your thoughts and your ability to generate positivity from within determines how happy you truly are. So, what does it mean to create your own happiness? It's about cultivating a mindset that doesn't need external validation. You no longer rely on others to feel good about yourself. When you do this, not only do you become more content, but you also attract others who are on the same wavelength. People are drawn to those who are happy on their own because it shows strength, independence, and authenticity. Think about someone you know who is genuinely content with their life. Don't you feel inspired just by being around them? That's because they radiate happiness, not because of anything anyone else has done for them, but because they've found peace and joy within themselves. Creating your own happiness doesn't mean you don't value relationships or appreciate the people around you. It simply means that you're not dependent on them to feel complete. You are already enough. It's about finding contentment in who you are, where you are, and what you're doing, no matter what anyone else is doing. In fact, when you embrace this mindset, your relationships with others tend to improve because you no longer rely on them for your happiness. Instead, you bring your own light into the relationship, creating a dynamic that's based on mutual respect and shared positivity. Have you ever noticed that when you're genuinely happy with your own life, people start coming to you for advice or just to spend time with you? It's because your joy is infectious. It's like a ripple effect. Your contentment spreads to those around you, and it makes them feel good too. That's why happiness is so powerful. It's not just about you, but about the energy you share with others. The more you create your own happiness, the more you become a beacon of light for those who need it. They'll start to see you as someone who is grounded, centered, and full of warmth, and that becomes something they want to be around. But I'll be honest with you, creating your own happiness isn't always easy. It takes effort, mindfulness, and a deep sense of self-awareness. It requires you to recognize that you have the power to control your own state of mind, regardless of what's going on in your life. When something challenging happens, you can still choose to respond with calm and positivity. When someone lets you down, you can choose to not let their actions take away your peace. You're not immune to the ups and downs of life, but you are in control of how you react to them. So, I want to ask you, how often do you rely on others to make you feel happy? What would happen if you started creating your own happiness from within, independent of anyone else's actions or approval? Imagine how freeing that would be. Imagine being able to stand firm in your own joy, no matter what's happening around you. I believe you can do it. I believe you have the strength and the power to create a life that is filled with your own happiness, not one that is dependent on others. When you do that, you become unstoppable. You become someone others want to be around, not because they need you, but because your happiness is contagious and they feel drawn to it. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This is your invitation to take control of your thoughts, your happiness, and your life. Start now and watch how your world begins to change. Number 9, be willing to walk away from them. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you were giving everything, but you were left feeling undervalued? It's painful, isn't it? Now, I want you to think about something important. You have the power to walk away. This isn't about being cold or heartless. It's about recognizing your own worth and ensuring that you don't settle for anything less than what you deserve. There's a quote that I believe resonates with this idea perfectly. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Plato. What does that mean in terms of relationships? Well, it means that your happiness and self-respect cannot be measured by the approval of others. You don't need to cling to relationships that drain your energy, diminish your self-esteem, or leave you feeling less than. The strength to walk away doesn't come from a place of anger. It comes from a place of clarity and self-respect. You know your value, and you're unwilling to compromise that for anyone or anything. Think about how different your life would be if you truly embraced this idea. If you could look at any relationship, whether it's romantic, professional, or even friendships, and ask yourself, does this relationship honor who I am? Does it add value to my life? If the answer is no, are you willing to walk away? That's a tough question, but it's a necessary one for your emotional health and personal growth. I know it's not always easy. We get attached, and there's a part of us that fears losing someone, even when we know deep down that the relationship isn't serving us. But let me tell you something. You don't have to stay in relationships that are dragging you down. Walking away is a form of self-preservation, not selfishness. By walking away, you maintain your dignity, your peace, and your sense of self-worth. It's a declaration that you won't settle for being treated less than what you deserve. How often have you stayed in a situation or relationship because you feared the consequences of leaving? Fear of loneliness, fear of judgment, or even fear of the unknown can hold you back. But think about this. How much are you willing to sacrifice for the sake of comfort? When you decide to set boundaries and honor those boundaries, you take control of your life. And trust me, when you walk away from what doesn't serve you, you create space for something that does. You teach others how to treat you by showing them that you're not afraid to walk away. This is where number 9 becomes really powerful. It sends a message, not just to the other person, but to yourself. It says that you won't tolerate being treated poorly, that you value yourself enough to walk away and let go of anything that harms you. This isn't about running away from discomfort. It's about choosing not to remain in a place that no longer serves your well-being. It's not about being reckless or impulsive either. Walking away should come after you've set clear standards for how you expect to be treated. If someone repeatedly disrespects those standards, then it's time to take action. It's about protecting your emotional peace and showing up for yourself in a way that demands respect. And when people see that you value yourself this much, they'll begin to treat you with that same level of respect. At the end of the day, walking away isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. The strength to preserve your integrity, your self-respect, and your happiness. So next time you find yourself questioning a relationship, ask yourself, is this relationship bringing out the best in me, or is it holding me back? And remember, you have the power to walk away at any time, if that's what you need to do to protect your peace. By making the choice to walk away, you're making a powerful statement about your own worth and what you're willing to accept. Are you ready to take that step? Number 10. Be yourself. This is the most powerful number of all. Be yourself. It sounds simple, yet so many of us struggle with it. We often find ourselves pretending to be someone we're not, in hopes of impressing others or gaining their approval. But here's the truth you need to embrace. Pretending to be someone you're not will only attract fleeting attention, not lasting connection. Think about it. When you're being true to yourself, you're allowing people to connect with the real you. You're not hiding behind a mask or a persona, trying to fit into someone else's expectations. Instead, you are fully embracing who you are, your quirks, your values, your passions, and showing up authentically in the world. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This couldn't be truer when it comes to authenticity. The more you accept yourself and stay true to your values, the more peace you will find. When you constantly try to be someone else, your thoughts become clouded, your mind restless, and you lose touch with your true self. It creates a disconnection, not only from others but also from yourself. So, what does it mean to be yourself? First, it means embracing your unique traits, those little things that make you, you. Stop trying to mold yourself into an ideal that others might find more attractive or acceptable. Instead, find strength in your individuality. If you love something that others might not understand or appreciate, own it. If you have a different opinion, stand by it. Your individuality is your power. And when you let it shine, you'll start to attract people who value you for who you truly are, not for a version of yourself that's been altered to fit a mold. Being true to yourself is a reflection of mental strength, a stoic iron mind. It's about having the courage to let go of societal pressures and expectations. Think about the immense freedom that comes from being yourself. You don't need anyone's validation to feel complete. You are enough just as you are. The Stoics knew this better than anyone. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." How often do we waste our time trying to live up to other people's ideals instead of living authentically? By pretending to be someone we're not, we waste precious time that could have been spent embracing our true selves. You might be thinking, but isn't it important to fit in? Yes, of course. Fitting in and connecting with others is important, but not at the cost of your authenticity. The key is to surround yourself with people who appreciate you for who you truly are. When you're authentic, the connections you form are deeper and more meaningful because they're based on mutual respect and honesty, not on a false image or performance. This is where the Stoic numbers come in. The Stoics taught us that we cannot control how others perceive us, but we can control how we perceive ourselves. And by staying true to who we are, we protect our inner peace from the judgment of others. You don't need to change or twist yourself to fit into someone else's narrative. You are in charge of your own story. By doing so, you not only become more confident, but also more resilient in the face of life's challenges. In today's world, where social media often forces us to present an edited version of ourselves, it can be easy to forget what it means to be real. But the beauty of living authentically is that you don't have to keep up with any artificial image. There is freedom in shedding the need for approval. By aligning your actions with your true self, you attract the right people, those who see and appreciate you for exactly who you are. This is how you build relationships that are grounded in authenticity and trust, not in pretense or performance. At the end of the day, being yourself is not just about being comfortable in your own skin. It's about having the courage to walk away from any situation or relationship that tries to force you to be someone you're not. When you embrace your uniqueness, you become magnetic, drawing in those who respect and admire you for the person you truly are. So, let me ask you this. Are you ready to stop pretending and embrace the freedom of being yourself? True strength comes from living authentically, and that's exactly what the Stoic teachings encourage us to do. By practicing the Stoic numbers and building that iron mind, you become unshakable. You realize that you don't need to change to be loved or valued. You are enough as you are, and once you embrace this, the world will start to see you the way you've always wanted, true, real, and untouchable in your authenticity. Number 11. Master your emotions. Never be controlled by them. If you've ever been in a situation where emotions were running high, whether it was frustration, anger, or stress, then you know how powerful they can be. It's easy to let emotions take over and control our actions, especially when life throws curveballs our way. But what if I told you that the key to true strength and resilience lies in mastering your emotions, not letting them dictate how you behave? This is one of the core Stoic lessons that Marcus Aurelius himself lived by. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we react. And that, my friend, is where true power lies. Imagine for a moment that you're in a tense situation. People around you are getting frustrated, shouting, or panicking. Everyone is feeding off the negative energy, and it feels like the situation is spiraling out of control. Now, what if you stayed calm, poised, and in control? What if instead of losing your temper like everyone else, you took a step back, observed your emotions, and chose to respond from a place of clarity rather than chaos? This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings or pretend they don't exist. It means you understand them, you recognize them, and then you choose to respond in a way that reflects your values. It's about becoming the observer of your emotions, not the victim of them. The truth is, when you maintain composure while others are reacting emotionally, people notice. They're drawn to you because you demonstrate strength and resilience. You show that you're not easily shaken, and that's a quality that others respect and admire. When you see someone who's calm under pressure, doesn't it make them seem more confident and capable? That's what emotional mastery can do for you. How many times have you regretted saying something in the heat of the moment? How often have you looked back at a situation and thought, if only I had handled that differently? What would it feel like to have the power to stay calm, no matter what's going on around you? The more you practice this, the stronger your emotional resilience becomes. As you gain control over your emotions, you'll also find that your ability to control situations improves. This is where modern Stoicism steps in. It gives you the tools to remain centered, no matter the storm. When you're not swayed by your emotions, you're free to make decisions that align with your values, not your impulses. This practice doesn't just help you in personal situations. It's something that can transform how you navigate the world. In a world that is often numbered by emotional reactions and quick judgments, people who can stay calm and composed are the ones who truly stand out. They don't react, they respond with thought, care, and precision. What would your life look like if you could control your reactions, no matter the circumstances? How much more power and peace would you feel if you could step back and make decisions from a place of clarity, not chaos? That's the power of mastering your emotions. It's a Stoic secret that, when applied, can change your entire life. It's not about being cold or indifferent. It's about choosing strength, clarity, and control. So the next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, ask yourself, how can I stay calm? And how can I respond in a way that shows true strength? Because when you start to live this way, you'll not only earn the respect of others, but you'll also discover an inner strength you never knew you had. Number 12. Learn to say no. The power of saying no is often overlooked, but I want you to understand how crucial it really is. Saying no is not just about turning down invitations or requests. It's about asserting your boundaries, protecting your peace, and prioritizing what truly matters to you. When you say no, you are choosing self-respect over obligations that drain your energy or compromise your values. This is one of the core Stoic principles. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius teaches us that we should not let external demands dictate our inner peace. So, why do so many people struggle with saying no? It often comes from the fear of disappointing others or being perceived as selfish. But here's the thing. When you don't have clear boundaries, you lose control over your own time and energy. The Stoic secrets remind us that we must protect our personal space and only engage in things that align with our principles. Think about it. Every time you say no, you are reinforcing your values, asserting your self-worth, and making it clear that you won't let anyone infringe upon what's important to you. Saying no doesn't make you rude or unkind. It makes you intentional with how you spend your energy and time. By establishing this habit, you not only create more time for what truly matters, but you also develop deeper respect from others because they see that you value yourself enough to prioritize your well-being. How often do you find yourself agreeing to things you don't want to do? Have you ever felt resentful after saying yes when you knew deep down you should have said no? Learning to say no is about creating space for what nourishes you, whether it's your relationships, personal goals, or inner peace. Remember, your time and energy are precious resources. Don't waste them on anything that doesn't align with your values. What would your life look like if you said no to things that didn't serve you? You might be surprised at how much more fulfilling and peaceful your life becomes when you embrace the power of no. If you've ever found it difficult to say no or realize the power of protecting your time and boundaries, drop a "I'm learning to say no" in the comments below. Your experiences are valuable, and sharing them helps us all build a community that values self-respect and clarity. Number 13. Develop a sense of purpose. Purpose is magnetic, and the impact it has on your life is undeniable. Think about it. When you live with intention and a clear sense of direction, you're not just another face in the crowd. Instead, you become a beacon, drawing people toward you who admire your drive and passion. A man with purpose stands out, and his life speaks volumes without him saying a word. By aligning yourself with your deepest values and committing to a mission that fuels you, you transform into more than just an individual. You become a source of inspiration. I want you to understand that this is not a fleeting aspiration, but a way of living that will completely reshape your interactions with the world. When you live with purpose, you cease to drift aimlessly through life, becoming a passive observer. Instead, you take control, crafting every action and decision with that greater mission in mind. You become the architect of your life, building it brick by brick with focus, determination, and a relentless drive to see your vision realized. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you are aligned with a purpose, you shape the narrative of your life. Each moment carries weight and significance, propelling you forward toward your larger goal. You stop wasting time and begin living actively. This doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or setbacks, but it does mean that when they arise, you'll have the iron mind to navigate them with a sense of clarity and resilience. Living with purpose gives you the strength to face adversity head-on because you are unwavering in your belief in what you're building. Imagine waking up every day knowing that your actions matter, knowing that your purpose fuels your every step. Your life becomes a deliberate, focused pursuit rather than a series of random events. People are naturally drawn to those who live with clear intent, and you will soon notice that your influence grows as you continue to walk with purpose, inspiring others to do the same. This is the power of aligning yourself with a mission that resonates deeply within you, because when you live with purpose, everything else falls into place. Number 14. Maintain physical and mental strength. A true Stoic knows that strength isn't just about being tough on the outside. It's about fortifying yourself both physically and mentally. When you make a conscious effort to take care of your body and mind, you send a clear message to yourself and others. You value yourself. It's not just about lifting weights or running miles, but about building a foundation of discipline and resilience that transcends physical appearance. By embracing both physical and mental well-being, you are cultivating the strength necessary to face life's challenges with poise and confidence. I want you to think about it this way. When you make the effort to nourish your body with the right food, exercise regularly, and focus on your mental well-being, you're demonstrating a commitment to growth that others can't ignore. It's a clear signal that you are not someone who settles for mediocrity or neglects their own potential, but someone who actively works to improve themselves every day. As you focus on these aspects of self-care, you not only strengthen your own resolve, but you also attract people who respect this discipline and dedication to bettering oneself. Take the example of Marcus Aurelius, a leader whose life exemplified these Stoic principles. He didn't just rely on his role as an emperor to define him. He also lived according to his own values of discipline, resilience, and mental clarity. When you make self-care a priority, you're following in his footsteps, understanding that a strong body complements a strong mind. And it doesn't end there. When you consistently show up for yourself, whether it's in the gym or through mindfulness practices, you're building more than just muscle or clarity. You're building respect, both from others and from within. Have you ever noticed how people who are in shape, both physically and mentally, often radiate a quiet confidence? It's not because they're trying to impress others, but because their actions speak louder than words. They know their worth, and they are fully aware of the power that comes with having both physical and mental strength. Now I want you to ask yourself, how are you showing up for yourself? Are you tending to both your physical health and your mental strength? Remember, these are Stoic secrets, deeply rooted in the principles of self-discipline and growth. The more you commit to maintaining your physical and mental health, the more you build the resilience and discipline that will allow you to face whatever challenges come your way. Number 15. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals. The people you choose to spend your time with can have a profound impact on the person you become. It's simple. When you surround yourself with individuals who uplift you, challenge you, and inspire you to grow, you'll inevitably find yourself growing in ways that make you more magnetic to others. This is a core principle of modern Stoicism. You must be intentional about the relationships you nurture. Your inner circle should be built on mutual respect, shared values, and a commitment to self-improvement. The Stoic numbers emphasize that your environment shapes you, and if you're surrounded by those who aren't aligned with your values, it becomes much harder to cultivate the strength and clarity of an iron mind. I want you to think about this. Your relationships are a reflection of who you are and who you aspire to be. Imagine a life where the people around you are constantly pushing you to evolve and become better, offering feedback that helps you refine your ideas and grow. They're not there to bring you down or keep you in your comfort zone. Instead, they are your partners in the pursuit of excellence. You might find it challenging to prioritize yourself if you're constantly surrounded by negativity or people who don't value growth. But by curating a circle that inspires you, you create an environment that enhances your energy and focus. His isn't about finding people who always agree with you. It's about finding people who challenge you to think deeper and elevate your standards. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts, and the quality of your thoughts, in many ways, depends on the quality of the people you spend your time with. Choose wisely. It's in these relationships that your own attraction and ability to inspire others grow. Are they pushing you toward growth, or are they pulling you back? When you surround yourself with those who challenge and uplift you, you naturally become a stronger, more magnetic version of yourself, capable of inspiring others. As we wrap up today's video, I want you to remember that applying these 10 numbers, along with the additional strategies, will not only enhance your charisma, but also help you build relationships that are founded on respect and mutual admiration. At the core of modern Stoicism is the understanding of your own worth and acting in alignment with it. When you prioritize yourself and live with purpose, people will naturally gravitate toward you. These Stoic secrets are not about manipulating others, but about cultivating a life that exudes value, independence, and self-respect. So, remember, the key to attracting the right people into your life isn't chasing after them, but instead focusing on becoming the person who doesn't need anyone's validation. Live with strength, confidence, and purpose, and watch as others begin to prioritize you in return. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic Secrets. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our upcoming content designed to help you grow and live with purpose. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.